Let's get mysterious like a good James Bond villain, ChavezzSlovakia. 5 people whose lives were shrouded in mystery and secrecy. Videos by Top 5s. It's been a minute since we've been to Top 5s, and I'm ready for a good video, ChavezzSlovakia. So let's get into this. Keep a lookout for Attack on Titan Abridged. We're bringing that back, and we have My Hero Academia Abridged coming out right after that. So we're going to finish up the Attack on Titan Abridged series, and then do the My Hero Academia Abridged right after that. Alright? So let's get into it, man.
We all hold our own secrets, but some people's entire lives are filled with deception and mystery. Now, I've talked about a few, like the infamous Jack the Ripper, and the identity of the Zodiac Killer.
Wait,
but there are
wait, I didn't see those. I want to see that. Where's that video at, about Jack the Ripper? What the fuck?
More mysterious people out there, such as a man who possibly pulled off one of the most impressive crimes the world has seen.
Call of Hunt for a
A
Skyjacker.
secretive woman whose husband had no idea what would surface after she committed suicide. Here are 5 of some of the most mysterious people.
What a sad way to learn about somebody,
Sit back
man.
and enjoy. When someone goes missing and is later found murdered in some obscure place, there is usually a huge amount of publicity and pleas from family and friends to find out who is responsible. But this was not the case with this one, because not one single person came forward to identify the Isdale woman, who was found on the 29th of November 1970 in the Isdalen Valley in Bergen, Norway. A professor who was out hiking with his 2 daughters found her naked and partially burnt body hidden behind
Oh my
rocks,
god.
surrounded by empty bottles and sleeping pills. Nearby, there were 2 full bottles of petrol, a burnt passport, and a packed lunch.
What the fuck?
The autopsy revealed that the woman died of carbon monoxide poisoning and burns,
Yep.
and had a large amount of sleeping pills in her system.
Just so you guys know, when you burn to death, most of the time the burning part is not the part that kills you. It's suffocating from the smoke. So keep that in mind, that it's a long journey from being burned to death. Same thing with drowning. It takes very long to drown.
She also had blunt force trauma to her neck, and her fingerprints had been sanded
That
off.
sounds like a murder.
Despite all of these bizarre circumstances, the police initially concluded the woman had committed suicide.
What? There is no way I commit suicide and cut off my own fingers and set myself on fire while taking sleeping pills. That's idiotic.
However, the mystery
That's
deepened
idiotic.
after 2 suitcases believed to belong to this woman were found. They contained very elegant Italian clothing that had every single label removed. One of them also contained a prescription note with all of the details scrubbed out, 500 Deutsche marks, and a journal containing strange, indecipherable codes, several wigs, non-prescription glasses, and a
Whoa.
postcard. A drawing of the woman was released to the public, and a few people came forward.
If you guys are hiring anybody who needs to draw people, I think I can handle this. If this is as good as it gets from the sketch artist, I think I can get this job. What the fuck were people drawing back in 1970, dude? You guys are terrible. Jesus Christ.
Who said they saw her around, but it seems she had up to 9 fake aliases, all with
9?
different disguises. When more research was done, things got even stranger. It was thought she was fluent in several languages, and hotel staff
Looks
who
like Carmen
recognized her
Sandiego.
said she displayed odd behavior and would often ask to change rooms. The last sighting of her was when she checked out of room 407 of the Hotel Marlin shortly before she was found dead. Despite all the publicity, no friends or family members came forward, but
Are
one
they supposed to
man
be
who
sketches
said
of the
he took
same
her to
woman?
dinner once and who gave her the postcard that was found in the suitcase said she was from South Africa and had told him she only had 6 months to visit the most beautiful places in Norway. To add another bit of mystery to this already confusing case, a local Norwegian man came forward 32 years after the unidentified lady was found and claimed he saw her 5 days before her body was discovered wandering in the forest.
What?
He said she seemed distressed and was being followed by a group of men dressed in black suits. When asked why he hadn't mentioned this at the time, he claims he contacted Interpol, who responded by saying, "Forget her, she was dispatched. The case will never be solved." This one is truly bizarre, and we have very few leads to make a conclusion.
She's
But
definitely
do
a
you
spy.
think this woman was a spy?
Yeah.
Let me know what
I
can
mean,
piece
you
together
just
in
talked
the
about the
comments.
comic book version, not textbook spy, the comic book spy with wigs and non-prescription glasses and mysterious suitcases and code.
Laurie Arika Ruff. In 2003, Laurie Arika Kennedy married Blake
2003,
Ruff,
that's way
and from
different.
the start, there was always something unusual about her. Nothing crazy, but she just seemed secretive. Before their wedding, Laurie was very reluctant to invite Blake's close-knit family.
Laurie doesn't have
so the pair
lips.
married in secret and then moved to Leonard, Texas, over 100 miles away from Blake's home. His mother was of course concerned by the vague and mysterious woman her son had moved away with, but couldn't stop him. Whilst at Leonard, neighbours were unsure about the secluded couple, especially Laurie, as it seemed she avoided people at all costs and barely came out of the house as she ran an online business. The pair eventually decided to have a child, and after fertility treatment, Laurie gave birth to a daughter in 2008, but her obsessive and erratic behaviour and her reluctance to have Blake's family in her life was causing tensions, and in 2010, Blake left her and returned to his parents' home.
Wow!
Laurie went into complete meltdown. She was frantic and desperate to get her husband back, and after several attempts at repairing the marriage, she drove to Blake's family's house on Christmas Eve 2010 and shot herself in her car on their
Oh
driveway.
my God!
An 11-page rambling suicide note was found addressed to her husband and daughter inside the car, and police revealed these were clearly written by a very disturbed person. After her death, the Ruff family searched for answers, as they had always thought Laurie was hiding something. The house in Leonard was searched top to bottom and was a complete mess, covered in notes she had written during her mental breakdown. During their search, Blake mentioned that there was a strong box in the house that he had always been forbidden to go near. This was broken open and revealed that in 1988, Laurie had changed her name from Becky Sue Turner to Laurie Arika Kennedy.
Ah!
After further investigations, it was revealed that the real Becky Sue Turner had died in a house fire in
Oh
1971
my
when
Lord!
she was 2
That's
years old.
so good!
For some unknown reason, Laurie must have gathered enough information about Becky, due to the publicity of her death, to obtain an ID in
Right.
London. Why she would do this is unsure, but she had covered her tracks so well that prior to 1988, when she changed her name, there is no information on who she originally was, where she was born, or anything of the sort.
That's pretty good.
We don't even know how old she was when she died, or how old she was when she first changed her name. What we do know is that she enrolled in college and university using Becky's name, and changed it to Laurie Arika Kennedy just after this.
Wow.
What's strange is basically no one remembers her at college or university, but she did get a business degree. Her DNA...
She could have done... Oh, did they do online degrees back then? I was about to say she could have just did it online, but...
Every database available, but nothing has come up. So what is going on? When searching that strongbox, there were letters that referenced an attorney, which has raised thoughts that maybe she was on the run from something. And there were also several random letters that the police could...
Witness protection, maybe?
So
That's pretty
who was
good.
she? Where did she come from? And why did nobody miss her or report her missing?
That's pretty good. That's a good one.
Some have speculated that she could have been a foreign spy, or a lady who wanted to escape her previous identity for some reason. Maybe she was mistreated as a child and ran away. What is known is that for the Ruff family, there are no answers, and unfortunately, Laurie and Blake's daughter is growing up not knowing the identity of her own mother.
That's nuts.
The Woman of the Seine. This next one is very unusual. It's called The Unknown Woman of the Seine and started in around 1880, when a body was pulled from the Seine River at the Quai de Louvre in Paris. Her corpse was in perfect condition, and with no visible signs of violence or injury, it was concluded the young woman had committed suicide. She was taken to the public morgue and put on display, in the hopes someone would put a name to the unidentified body, a common practice at the time, but sadly no one came forward.
Damn.
During her time there,
That is a terrifying photo.
claimed the pathologist at the morgue was so taken by her beauty that he decided to make a cast of her face and created a haunting death mask, something he would most likely be arrested for doing today.
Yeah.
But then something strange started happening. Copies of the desk mask started to appear in shops across France and Germany,
What?
and became a popular decorative feature in Parisian bohemian society. People became fascinated with the expression of this unknown woman, speculating on what drove her to take her own life. Unbelievably, young girls of the time even started to model their looks on the features of this unidentified girl. Then, in the 1950s, Dr. Peter Safar was responsible for the life-saving technique we now know as CPR. To practice his technique, he commissioned a toy manufacturer to create a mannequin, which he later named Anne, and the face the mannequin was given was that of the unknown Seine woman. The saying is that she's been kissed by millions of people around the world, and in the US she is known as CPR Annie, and is responsible for saving countless lives.
Okay, that's good.
So next time you see this CPR mannequin,
Yeah.
know that it's the face of the unidentified woman who lost her life in the River Seine under mysterious circumstances all that time ago.
And then give her a big kiss. 2.
This next one is quite upsetting, but is also very interesting and mysterious. It started on April the 1st, 1990, when a young woman randomly stepped into the road at Huntington Beach, California, and was struck by 2 cars.
That's so sad.
She was instantly killed, and when police arrived, they were unable to find any ID on her, but did find a hotel room key and a strange ring made of hair. After a while, no one came forward to identify her, and media reports were released in hopes someone had any information on this woman. Many local residents responded and claimed that they had spoken to her just days before she had died, and that her name was Andrea. Apparently, she was around 25 years old, although this cannot be confirmed, as some said she looked closer to 15. And it's believed she travelled from Virginia or possibly New York in search of her birth parents, who she claimed were very well known to everyone. Then a man came forward and said she was homeless, and he had taken her into his family's home just days before she was killed, and given her money and food, but he still couldn't give much information on her. To this day, no one has ever come forward to claim her as their daughter or friend.
So sad.
After more than 20 years, the police are remaining hopeful, as the case is still open.
Oh, really?
It seems very unlikely, but maybe one day, someone will be able to provide some information on this mysterious
Wow, that's nuts that it's still an open case. Alright, number 1.
Dan Cooper.
Dan Cooper.
Since I first heard the story about Dan Cooper, I was fascinated. And although it's well known, hopefully I can bring some new information to this unsolved FBI case. On November the 24th, 1971, a man calling himself Dan Cooper bought a one-way plane ticket.
Is that
from
Dan
Portland,
Cooper's handwriting? This nigga writes like a kindergarten.
Oregon to Seattle. He was described as a dark-haired man around 40 years old.
That literally looks like a James Bond villain, bro.
After he boarded the Northwest Orient Airlines flight, he ordered himself a bourbon and soda and
a
relaxed
bourbon? A
After
bourbon.
takeoff, Cooper handed a note to the flight attendant saying he had a bomb, and showed her a massive wires and red sticks he had in his briefcase. The plane landed in Seattle as planned, and as he had asked, he exchanged 36 passengers for $200,000 in cash, over $1 million in today's money, and 4 military-grade parachutes. Keeping 4 crew members on board, he ordered the plane to take off and fly to Mexico City. He told the flight attendants to stay in the cockpit, and he lowered the rear stairs of the plane. Donning the parachute with the $200,000 of cash strapped to himself, he jumped out. The location of the plane where he exited is unsure, but it's believed he jumped in approximately a 5-mile radius of Merlin Dam, which during the night would have been lit bright with lights, giving Cooper the perfect landing marker. Despite jets being scrambled and an extensive FBI search, no trace of him was found, and for many years, not even a single clue to his whereabouts had surfaced. But then, in 1980, a boy found a package containing $5,800 just north of Portland on the Columbian River. The serial numbers on these notes matched the notes given to Cooper, and since then there has been nothing except speculation about what happened to him. Did he survive the parachute jump and land in the Merlin Dam waters? If so, why was some of the money left, or did he fall to his death? If he did fall, you would think his parachute or body would have been found, or at least more than $5,800 of the $200,000 he took.
Dang, that homie's a G, bro. That's some real criminal shit.
Parachutes he requested, which were apparently very hard to use, and the fact he clearly had some knowledge of the aircraft he jumped from, like knowing the stairs could be lowered mid-flight, which was something the flight attendants didn't even know about, has led to the speculation that he could have been a Vietnam vet pilot, or even an ex-government spy. But I guess we will never know.
I guess not, because the homie's done, dude. Wow, that's crazy. I've never even heard of like literally any of these stories before. That's actually really fucking good. That last one is some real like James Bond criminal shit. What the fuck, man? I thought my sex life would be on this list. Shut up, chat. Number 1 should be Frank Ocean. Alright, man, we're done. I'll see y'all in the next one, ChavezzSlovakia. That was an intense ass video though, man. That shit was deep, bro. That's some real criminal stuff, dude. That's real mystery right there. That is crazy. I'll see y'all in the next one, man. Peace. Wow, that was good.
Crocs, 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 Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. My Crocs are gold. My pops is old. My Crocs got soul. My Crocs are bold. I go to church wearing Crocs. I'm always turned wearing Crocs. My Crocs are great. Your Crocs are lame. With my Crocs, I can cross a lake. Crocs, 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 Crocs.